Hello everyone, I am Megha Sharma, faculty at Tecnia Institute of Advanced Studies, going to present the topic on risk in international trade. So, what are the risks of international trade? International trade involves many risks which mainly slow down the growth. Commercial risk also exists in domestic market, but the risk is greater in international market. Risk arising from international trade operations may include economic risk, political risk, commercial risk, currency risk, and other risks such as cultural and environmental risk. So let's discuss the main risk related to export and import. Quality and supply risk. When the goods do not conform to the quality or the quantity required by the buyer, price may drop, or worse, the contract may be terminated. For the importer, the sales or production objectives will not be achieved if the goods delivered do not have the expected quality or quantity. Commercial risk. Buyers may be unable to settle payments due to companies' bankruptcy or simply refuse to pay. This could also happen when the importer encounters unexpected financial difficulties and is no longer able to meet all the financial obligations. The risk of incomplete documents. It may be due to lack of documents necessary for international trade such as invoices, bill of lading, or the insurance. It can also be due to lack of sales contract, which does not cover the certain points by the law or the codes. The risk of inadequate insurance. Loss of good in transit happen quite often. So this risk should not be taken lightly. In general, it is highly recommended to take out insurance 100% of the value of invoice. The risk of delay in distance. The risk of loss and damage are higher, leading to a risk of non-payment or the late payment, especially if the several companies are involved in the movement of goods. The risk of storms, collision, theft, leakage, explosion, deterioration, fire, light on high seas are also associated. Changes in transportation cost. Transportation costs generally constitute a significant value of the invoice, and therefore any change in invoice and thereafter change in transportation cost affect the competitiveness of the exporter. The risk of change in exchange rates. Fluctuation in exchange rate may have the major impact. Appreciation or depreciation of one currency with another currency can lead to a loss. The risk of legal system. All countries have their own legal systems and adopt different import and export laws. In any relationship, however cordial and long-standing it may be, differences are likely to occur at any point of time. Taking a legal action across international border can be very difficult and quite costly. Risk of foreign countries. Risk related to the foreign countries include political, social and economic components, including the regulation of exchange control among buyers and sometimes lack of foreign currency, adverse changes in government policies and laws, or most cases they involve risk in non-payment internationally. Commercial risk. Commercial risk generally concerns exporters. These are often caused by lack of knowledge of foreign market, the inability to adapt product to the requirement of buyers, the long-term duration, transit times of good and other factors are quite difficult to manage. Political risk. Risk related to any form of war, unrest or disorder that manifests in a country. This can happen very unexpectedly due to events of political violence, riots or conditions of war. The exporter can no longer supply the goods in accordance with the contract. For the importer, this kind of crisis can lead to the inability to pay. Boycott or embargo. Boycotting foreign trade can be a voluntary measure by private sector or the state. This can occur when the importing country is subject to international embargo covering a certain product of a company. Consequently, it will not be authorized to supply the goods even there has been no fault. Currency risk. This deals with the fluctuations. If two parties do not use the same currency, contract currency is established which is always a foreign currency, at least for the importer or the exporter. As a result, one or the other will be subject to the risk linked to the variation in the exchange rate. If the contract currency corresponds to the exporting country currency, the importer must pay a higher amount in the event of devaluation of currency. I hope you have understood the topic on risk in international trade. Please like, share and subscribe Tecnia TV. Thank you very much.